I want to mention one bright spot, if I might. We had a chance to visit the camp, as I said, in Kilis, on the border between Syria and Turkey, in Turkey. And we had a chance to see firsthand how the Syrian refugees are being handled by the Turkish government. And Madam President, I want to tell you, they're doing a superb job. I think it's a model way to handle a situation like this. They have an open border. Now, the border area at that point is controlled by the Syrian freedom fighters. They control that area. But their Turks allowed the Syrians to come in and find a safe haven. The Turkish government has built housing for the refugees in the camp. We had a chance to see their children in schools. They're attending schools. They are getting proper food and proper medical attention. They have the opportunity to travel where they want to in Turkey. Freedom of movement. They have the opportunity to go back to Syria if they want to go back to Syria. So the Turkish authorities are providing them with a safe haven and adequate help. And they're doing this primarily with their own resources. There's one other thing we observed when we were in this camp on the border. We had a chance to meet with the elected representatives of the refugees in Kilis. They actually had an election. They don't get that opportunity in Syria. They're learning how to cast their votes. They're learning what democracy is about. They're learning what representation is about. And we had a chance to talk to these representatives about the circumstances in Syria and what we could do to help. First, I want to point out that there is still a tremendous need for the international community to contribute to the humanitarian needs of those that are being affected in Syria. There are approximately 4 million Syrians that are in need of humanitarian assistance. There are 2.5 million internally displaced people within Syria. The United States has taken the lead as far as humanitarian aid, having provided $384 million. Other countries have stepped forward, but quite frankly, more needs to be done. In talking with the opposition leaders, and we had a chance to really talk to them in depth when we were in Istanbul, they expressed to us a sense of frustration. A sense of frustration that there hasn't been a better unified international response to the humanitarian, to the actions of the Assad regime, to what the Assad regime has done to its own people, and to get Assad out of Syria. Quite frankly, they understand, or at least we explained, that some countries might be willing to provide certain type of help, other countries may not. As you know, the United States has provided non-lethal help. Other countries are providing weapons, other countries are providing training, but we need to coordinate that. And the absence of coordination provides a void in which extreme elements are more likely to get into the opposition. And that's something we all really want to make sure it doesn't happen. So, Madam President, the message I took back from those meetings is that the United States, we need to be in the leadership of coordinating the efforts of the opposition. We made it clear, and I think the international community has made it clear, that Assad must go. And he should go to The Hague and be held accountable for his war crimes. He has no legitimacy to remain in power in Syria. That's been made clear, and we underscored that point again. We also underscored there is no justification for any country, providing assistance to the Assad regime on the military side. And as we know, Russia and Iran have provided help. That's wrong. That's only adding to the problems and giving strength to a person who's turned on his own people. But then we need to coordinate our attentions so that we can provide the help they need and the confidence that they're looking to, so that they will have the necessary training, not only to reclaim their country, but then to rule their country in a democratic way that respects the rights of all of its citizens. As the chair of the Helsinki Commission, I pointed that out to the Syrian opposition, that we want to provide the help so that they can rule their country one day, we hope sooner rather than later, in a way that respects the rights of all of its citizens, provides economic opportunity for its citizens, for that's the only way that you're going to have a nation that really respects the security of its country. That was the message we delivered, and I hope that the United States will join other countries in a more concerted effort to get Assad out of Syria. As I said, I think he should be at The Hague, held accountable for his war crimes, and held accountable and allowing the people of Syria to have a democratic regime. And with that, Madam President, I would yield the floor.